YouTube? Welcome to another episode here at the Game Nights. You got your boy Titan here, and I'm coming at you guys with something that we haven't done in a minute, and that is an official deck profile, guys. We've done a lot of regional profiles, we've done a lot of local profiles, but today is an official one. And today, guys, I'm coming at you guys with my Exosister deck profile. My Exosister deck profile. I've been playing this deck for the last couple of weeks, and I've had a ton of fun. I've had great success. I actually had 2 weeks in a row where I went undefeated. So awesome fun deck. I hope you guys really enjoy this profile. I have a couple of things to get at you guys before we get off into this deck profile. First off, we have officially hit our 500 sub mark, and I mentioned in our last video, guys, that we are going to be announcing the winner in this video. So, the winners of the box giveaway, guys, the double box giveaway, drum roll, it is Mr. Jackson Henderson for box number 1 and LOB for number 2, guys. I absolutely loved your guys' comments, especially you, LOB. I love that. You're a true Game Night fan, so we always appreciate it. And same with you, Jackson. We, of course, appreciate everyone here that subs to us and follows the Game Night. So you guys are our box giveaway winners. So let us know in the comments what you guys are wanting. Spoiler, we only got Power of the Elements, so you're probably gonna get Power of the Elements. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys are super jacked about that. My second thing is an announcement of another giveaway that we are doing, guys. We just love giving away shit here at the Game Nights. So on the next main set that is coming out, Darkwing Blast, we are going to be giving away a box of that. So make sure that you guys keep subscribing, make sure that you guys keep commenting so that you can get entered into that giveaway, guys. All right, so I'm gonna get out the way all the good YouTube stuff. Make sure that, you give the video a like. Make sure that you subscribe to the Game Nights. We're pretty cool here. If you like what we do, subscribe. And also make sure that you follow us on Facebook and also share the video. We super duper appreciate that as well. So with all that out the way, guys, let's go ahead and get off into this deck profile. Alrighty, guys, let's get off into the profile, and we're starting strong. We're starting off with the best girl, guys, Exosister Martha. One of the new cards that came out in Power of the Elements, and man, it was much needed. This card is fantastic. So basically you can reveal her in hand, and you can go ahead and special summon her and Elise straight from the deck. It has to be from the deck. And of course, she does have the effect that all of the Exos have. This one's a little bit better though, where if a card is moved out of the graveyard, you can go ahead to trigger their effect and immediately XYZ summon. So what is different about Martha though, is that Martha can do it when you move a card out of your opponent's graveyard. So if you call by grave, you crow, anything like that, it will trigger Martha. So you have to play 3. She is absolutely the best card. And then of course, the card that is special off of the Martha, you gotta play 3 Elise. This card is also absolutely fantastic. She is a free special summon if you happen to have an Exo on the board. So you don't always really want to draw into this, just because obviously you want to keep the Elises in the deck so that you have the ability to use your Marthas, but it's still pretty good. She also has the effect, of course, that when she is special summoned, if you happen to have Stella on the board, then you can gain 800 life. So you gain life and you pay life in this deck. So keep that in mind, guys. And like I said, all of these Exos have the effect to XYZ summon if a card is moved out. So with Elise, it has to be the opponent moving it out, and also the same with this next card. We play 3 Stella. You have to play 3 Stella as well. She is fantastic. She's honestly the best normal summon in the deck. Basically what she does is during the main phase, you can special summon 1 Exosister monster card from your hand. If you happen to have Elise on the board, you will gain 800 life. You gotta play 3. And then you also have to play Sophia, and Sophia you only play 2 of. She's fantastic. You don't really want to eat up your normal on this one. You typically want to special this one off of the Stella, and basically her effect is that if you happen to control another Exosister monster, you can draw 1 card, and with this one, if you happen to control Irene, then you will gain 800 life. So what Irene does is, Irene is a hand mulligan, so if you happen to have just an extra Exosister card that you don't really want to use, or that you've already used in that turn, you can go ahead and put it to the bottom of the deck and draw 1 card. Fantastic, you don't have to max out on these ones. So that's it all for all the Exosister monsters. Now going off into my hand traps. So we're gonna start off with Dimension Shifter. This card is literally MVP of this format, honestly. If you see this thing against a Tiers player, they're having a really rough time, honestly, because the graveyard is turned off for 2 whole turns the minute it's discarded. So really tough for a lot of tier players to play through this. So I think that in this format, you absolutely play 3 Dimension Shifter. And also keep in mind, guys, with any XYZ monsters that detach their material, they still go to the banish pile. They do not go to the graveyard. It is not like Dimensional Fissure. It is like a macro, so everything is banished no matter what. Then we play 2 Ash. So the reason why I only play 2 Ash is because Ash is kind of low impact this format. It's still really good against a lot of rogue matchups, so obviously you still want to play it. You don't want to just, you know, be completely naked and not play these things, but it's not as good this format, but of course you still want to play it. Not going to go too much further into detail with Ash. Everyone knows what Ash do. Then we play 2 DD Crows. Now this is something that you could bump up to 3 if you want, just because of how prevalent a lot of graveyard decks are right now. But this card also fantastic. We all know what DD Crow is. You know, you just banish a card out of the opponent's graveyard. Then we play 3 Imperm for my last hand trap, and this one is also pretty self-explanatory. This is fantastic, just a spot negate. I don't need to go into any further detail. All right, and now going off into the spells. And before I get off into those spells, guys, make sure that you give the video a like and subscribe to the channel and commenting so that you're entered into the giveaway. Let me know what your favorite card is in this deck, actually. I would really love to know. All right, now going off into my spells, we're playing 3 Exosister packs. Now, this is the best spell in the deck, in my opinion. Basically, during the main phase, you pay 800 life to go ahead and add you 1 Exosister card. So it can be any Exosister card. If you happen to grab a monster, you do actually have the option to special summon that monster if you happen to have the monster that's listed in its text either on the field or in the graveyard. So if you want to say special summon Sophia, you have to have Irene in the graveyard or on the field, and then you can just special summon it for free. So that's pretty nice. The only thing that kind of sucks about this card is that it does say during the main phase, so if your opponent does anti-spell you, you unfortunately can't chain it, but you know, it just, if it happens, it happens. But still an absolutely great card. Then my next Exosister spell I play is Arment. Arment is also fantastic. I play 2 of it. You can get away with 1, but the way I see it is that if your opponent deals with this, you don't, no longer have access to it, and it's pretty good. Basically, what it allows you to do is pay 800, of course, and you get to target 1 Exosister monster that's on your field, and you get to immediately XYZ summon on top of it. So, super fantastic. You can go into any of your Exos on the opponent's turn, and you can only activate Arment on the opponent's turn, or if they have a monster that's special summoned from the graveyard. So keep that in mind as well. Then, because we need to see Best Girl, we are playing 3 Pot of Prosperity, guys. You absolutely need to be able to dig and draw cards in this deck. Of course, that's why you have Sophia. But this thing is a little bit better as I get to, reveal 3 or 6 and try to pick one of those. Definitely would pick this up if you're wanting to play this deck competitively. Also keep in mind that when you use this card, any battle damage that your opponent takes is halved, and you also can't draw cards via card effects. So yes, it does turn off your Sophia or your Irene. However, I would rather play this because, like I said, I would rather dig for the 3 or 6 just to see what I can add instead of just drawing a card. Then, something that a lot of people are doing now, we are main decking Dark Ruler. I don't like main decking Dark Ruler, but you kind of need to, just with the format and just how strong Sprite boards are right now, just being able to put up so many interruptions, usually between 5 to 7, quite easily as well. So you kind of need to be able to turn all that goofy stuff off. So we need to play the Dark Ruler. I wouldn't play 3. I think it's a little cloggy, especially when you're going first, because obviously you want to go first. Then I play 2 Tactics. Now this card is actually optional. You don't have to play Tactics. You could play this for some other cards if you want to like bump any ratios that you've seen so far in this deck. But Tactics, also pretty good. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what Tactics does. And then, of course, the God card, Call by the Grave. This card's probably going to get banned, but you know what? Until then, you got to play it. And it's also a way to trigger Martha. Then going off into my traps, we got 3 Exosister Vadis. This card is absolutely phenomenal. It actually wasn't that great when the deck first came out, but now with the existence of Martha, it is absolutely fantastic. So basically what Vadis does is you pay 800 life, of course. You get to special summon 2 Exosister monsters from the deck. Now, they do have to mention each other. So if you want a special Sophia, you have to special Irene and vice versa. Or if you want a special Stella, you have to special Elise. So they have to mention each other. And if your opponent happens to not interact with them and they're still on the board, they both have to be on the board for this to resolve this way. They do shuffle back into the deck. So if you did happen to even XYZ on top of one of them, then you still get to keep the other one that was special, because both of them have to shuffle, just with the text. All right, and then one of the new cards that came out in Power of the Elements with Martha was Exosister Returnia. This card is fantastic, you guys. You could play 3 of this if you want. Like I said, if you don't want to play the Tactics, you could bump this up to 3 if you want. Basically, what this card does, you can pay 800 life, target one. You have to control an Exosister monster, minimum one, by the way. You can target one card your opponent controls or in their graveyard and banish it. And then, if you XYZ summon this turn, you get actually one additional effect. You get to choose between either being able to banish an additional card or immediately after this card resolves, XYZ summoning into another Exosister monster. So pretty fantastic. Like I said, 2 you can get away with, but you can also bump it up to 3 if you want. And then the final card that I play is Goes and Match. Absolutely broken in the right matchup, guys. Just locking them out into one, or sorry, locking them into one attribute. Pretty darn good if you ask me. All right, so that's it for the main deck, guys. Now going off into the extra deck. So again, we're going to start off strong. We're going to start with the best one in the extra deck. Actually, there is one that's also pretty good, but this one is absolutely fantastic. Mikalis, basically what her effect is, she is a quick effect to be able to target one card on the field or graveyard and banish it. But it can only be activated on the turn that it is summoned. So you need to summon it on your opponent's turn to take advantage of that banish. She also has an additional effect to detach a material to be able to add a Exosister spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So you absolutely need to play 3 of this. She is definitely the best one in the extra. Then next we play 2 copies of Caspatel. Caspatel is also pretty good. This card does have an effect that when it is XYZ summoned, neither player can special summon monsters from the graveyard, so it doesn't allow them to Monster Reborn. And this card also has a detach effect where you can detach a material and add one Exosister monster from your deck to your hand. So this one is the monster searcher, whereas Mikalis was the spell and trap searcher. So doesn't really have any sort of effect when you summon it on the opponent's turn. This one is just strictly for grabbing monsters. And then next, this is the actual best card in the deck, in the extra deck, sorry. This card is phenomenal. It's Exosister Magnifica. She came in the previous set in Defo. Basically what she does is that she can attack twice each battle phase, so pretty good. And she has 2 quick effects. She has 1 quick effect to be able to banish one card on the field. It's non-targeting. And also another quick effect that when your opponent activates a card or effect, she is able to tag out into one of the materials that you had used to make her. So if you used Caspatel and Mikalis, you can actually go ahead and tag her out into either Caspatel or Mikalis, whichever one is still attached to her. So what's really nice about that is that if somebody happens to, let's say, Valor you or Imperm you, you can actually dodge that Valor or an Imperm, and you can just tag out into the Mikalis to be able to dodge it. So really, really nice that way. You only need to play 2. This card literally just ends games on its own, so I think just 2 is more than fine. Then we play 1 Exosister Asophiel. This is the Dweller. So this is kind of why I don't even feel really the need to play a Dweller. This card just on its own is a Dweller. You can summon it on the opponent's turn. It locks them out of all graveyard effects for the rest of the turn. And it does also have an effect, a detach effect, where you can target one monster that your opponent controls and return it to the hand. So not bad. You only need to play 1. You can bump this up to 2 if you want, just depending on how prevalent a lot of graveyard decks are in your area. Then we play 1 Exosister Jabrine. She's not bad. Basically, she is the Imperm. So when she is summoned on the opponent's turn, you can target one monster your opponent controls and negate its effects. She does also have a detach effect to where all of your Exosister XYZ monsters will gain 800 attack. So like I said, she's not bad. And then of course, since we're playing a XYZ monster deck, we of course have to play Zeus. Zeus, pretty self-explanatory, just clears boards. Just absolutely great card. I'm actually going to be showing you guys the next 5 in my extra deck all at once, guys, and I'll explain to you in a second why. So I play 1 Elder Entity Natis, 1 Garura, Wings of Resonant Life, 1 Lina, the Light Charmer Lustrious, 1 Wind Pegasus Adignister, and 1 Tri-Brigade Baron Blossom. So the reason why these cards are in the extra, guys, you're probably wondering, what are you doing, Titan? Why are these in the extra? So I am actually playing a card called Ultimate Slayer. So these are my Slayer targets. I have 1 of every type, so I can get some advantage off of the Slayer. Natis lets you pop a card when it's sent. Garura lets you draw a card. What's really cool about the Baron Blossom is that when you send this one basically allows you to mulligan your hand. And of course, the Wind Pegasus Attribution is also pretty cool. You can send it when you're in a synchro matchup, and basically if a card is dealt with via, you know, by battle or by card effect, you can actually banish this thing to actually shuffle away a card that your opponent controls. So really, really good targets for Slayer. You can also play a couple of, you actually can play, if you don't want to play the Baron Blossom, you can actually also play the Evil Twin Trouble Sunny. This card is also really good to play with Slayer, but you do have to play this one. You do have to play the Evil Twins, Kisakil and Leela, just because this is basically how you play the Trouble Sunny properly. So just showing you these guys because this is stuff that you can play if you are playing Ultimate Slayer. Alrighty guys, that is it for the deck profile. Alrighty guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Remember guys, make sure that you're commenting, make sure that you give the video a like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Get into this giveaway because we want to give you guys more free stuff. So with that being said guys, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and until our next upload guys, deuces.